Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is where you are in the world. I wanted to just bring you a quick overview of the Oodlü Zap app that we've now added to the Oodlü platform. This is just one of many developments that are going on right now, so there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I'm going to just quickly do a quick presentation as to what it is and how it works, and then I'm going to give you a demonstration of it. So essentially, Oodlü Zap is a simple real-time classroom voting system. It's ephemeral, so the idea is that this doesn't draw on the millions of questions that already exist on Oodlü. Instead, you create questions on the fly, and then you poll the class on those questions, and that can be used because it's like super simple, and it's intentionally simple because of the flexibility that brings in the way that you use it in your classroom. So let's just look at that for a second and get my mouse onto the correct screen. So why would you use it? Well, so one of the things with this is it gives every student a voice, because instead of like asking one person, you're asking the whole class simultaneously. It gives you instant feedback to guide your teaching as you go, so you can use it to find out whether students have understood concepts before moving on and building on those concepts. It's simple, flexible and fun to use. It kind of interrupts the class a little bit, which is an intentionally good thing because it kind of triggers people to wake up a little bit. And it works on any device where they can enter a code or scan a QR code. So basically any internet connected device will work with this. It will work on your Chromebooks, it will work on your tablets, it will work on their mobile phones, it will work on a desktop computer, anything really. So and you can use it with small or large groups, any numbers. People can group together and use one device, or they can have one device each. Pretty much any combination that you can think of can be done. So in terms of the way that you use this, there are so many ways that you could think of to do it, and you can just choose the one that works best for you. So the pedagogical benefits of it. Firstly, as I mentioned just now, you can check the understanding in real time, so that allows you to ensure that you're not waiting for the test next week to find out if they understand a concept, and that enables you to move forwards more confidently with that. And it also potentially allows you, if they don't understand, it allows you to dig into what it is that they don't understand and crack it then and there rather than waiting. It stimulates students to think and respond, not just to listen or drop off. And this is so essentially there because they know they're going to get a question at some point. They're a bit more on the ball in that regard, and the interruption that asking them to participate in the classroom means that they're kind of engaged actively rather than passively listening. It's good for building student confidence through anonymous participation as well, because for students who are a little bit less confident and don't particularly like raising their hand and facing the pressure that brings, this is great because they can vote without any kind of issue. Everybody's voting simultaneously. It's a group activity. Nobody knows what you've voted. It's not linked to particular users, so you don't see Johnny voted for X. It's literally just there is a vote, and that's come in. So there's no kind of difficulty for them in that regard, psychologically. It's great for sparking discussion and debate, making lessons more interactive, because instead of just knowledge checking, you can actually use this to guide debate and discussion. So you could be discussing a particular topic and then use this to redirect or get a poll on where the group is within the class to move the debate in a different direction. So really helpful for that too. So there are lots of different ways you could use Oodlü Zap, and honestly, I'm sure you'll come up with amazing creative ways to do this, but just 3 off the top of our heads here. So as a quick knowledge check, you can gauge the understanding mid-lesson with fast multiple choice questions and see instantly if concepts need revisiting, as I mentioned there. It can be used as an opinion poll to explore views in literature, history, citizenship, etc., and then spark debate. And then one which I haven't kind of alluded to yet is quite fun, which is a prediction challenge. So this is where if you're going to do a demonstration or a science experiment, or there's some unknown outcome, you can get them to predict that, and there's an element of forcing thinking when you ask somebody to predict something like that, and so that again is quite an interesting concept. So let's see now how this works. I'm going to move over to the demo screen if I can get this right. Here we go. So what you're seeing here is my Oodlü dashboard right now. The graphics in this is all going to change. We're doing a huge amount of development at the moment, but the principle will remain the same. So we have Oodlü Zap as a button now on our dashboard, and then on the right hand side I've got a screen that was simulating a student mobile device. For practical reasons I've just done it in a browser because it's just tricky otherwise, but basically we have a student device and the home screen. So what you'll notice here is that the screen aspect ratio is a little bit different, so the display is a little bit different to you'll see, but it's essentially the same thing. So let's go, all you do is you click on Oodlü Zap and go in, and then it gets you to this page. There are a few controls at the top left hand side which are worth noticing. So the home button takes you back to the dashboard. This information gives you a little bit of an overview and goes to the blog which I mentioned just now. That gives you further information about the pedagogical kind of backing towards what we've done here, and some of the functional stuff. And then we've got the ability to toggle the background, which I'll show you shortly, when the devices are connected, and to toggle audio. There's not much audio. We've intentionally kept the audio quite minimal on this because we didn't want to interrupt things too much, but there's a zap sound when the students make their choices to vote for a particular element in your zap, and so you might choose to turn that off, but we've intentionally left the audio quite minimal. And there's also an option to toggle showing answers, so that you can do answers without, you can take polls without actually students seeing what the general consensus is. So that has a different dynamic to it within within the way that the thinking works behind it. So first thing you do is just click on create, and sorry, I also should mention that there's a toggle full screen button here, which I'm not going to do actually, because when I do it with the browsers laid out like this, it fires over to the other screen, but that just makes it full screen, and that's kind of nice because it means that you can run it more without the browser kind of bars at the top, which is maybe a bit ugly. Or you do that and it will go full screen and it will look very pretty. So let's create our Oodlü Zap. So you just click on create zap, and it brings up this slightly uninteresting screen, but this is the necessary one. The way this works is that Oodlü Zap creates a session for your class. So and a session can contain multiple polls and questions in it. So what that means is you just set this up once at the beginning of your class, get the students to connect to it, and then after that, that's it. You just leave it running. It's fine. There are a number of ways they can come into this. They can either visit oodlu.org/zap and then enter this code, or if they have a QR code enabled, camera enabled device, they can scan the QR code here, or you can copy and share this link if you have the ability to somehow get that to them as well. We just left that as an option because it felt like it was obvious. So in this instance though, I'm going to use my code here. So on my student device, I just go join a zap. It asks me for the zap code. I'm going to go 4992, and I'm going to click on join, and that's it. I'm in. And so when everyone's in, you're ready to go. But if somebody for some reason joins halfway through or drops off, that's fine. At the top right hand side you can see here you've got oodlu.org/zap, which is the URL to visit, and the zap code. So they would just come in and enter that zap code again, and they will be joined exactly wherever you are in the process. So it doesn't matter if devices drop off, they can rejoin seamlessly as well. So let's click on start. Now you'll see that the device for the student has gone into ready mode, but there's nothing displayed on it. This is where you enter your questions here. So the idea of this is that you enter these questions on the fly. As I said before, they're not linked to the Oodlu questions in the main database. These are questions that you do ephemerally on the fly, temporarily if you like. So you can add whatever you want in here. So let's just say king, and then we'll say queen, and then we'll say I don't know, we'll just say dad and mum. Obviously these are silly examples, but you would do what you feel you need for the class in that moment. You can also, by the way, include a reference, video or text, I think it is, and also a question if you want to. So most times you'll verbally say the question in the classroom. That's kind of the point of this. So this isn't a default on option, but if you click on that, you can include a question in your Zap as well. If you include a reference, you can include a YouTube video or text. Unlikely you'll probably use the YouTube video because the nature of this is that these are intended to be quite quick polls, but we thought we'd include that option anyway because you never know, you guys might find amazing ways to use it with video. So that's it, you're ready to go. Now whenever you're ready to actually put the poll to the students, you just click Let's Zap. So you can see it's quick and easy to do, and you can remove and add options. If you click on this plus, it will add more options. If you click on these bin icons, these trash icons, it will delete them. If you click on the cross, it will clear them, so you can re-enter them. So nice and quick to enter stuff. And then you go, let's zap. And when you do that, as you can see, the poll appears on the student device and the results appear on the main device. This is a good time to show you actually the hide results and show results in the background, because now the device is connected. So first thing I'm going to just show you, this is kind of just to remove clutter. If you're wanting something a little bit cleaner, you can just toggle the background off and it gives you it's quite a bland view, but that's intentional. So if you wanted to if it was a bit too much going on visually with this graphics, then you can do that. And the other thing here is the toggle show answers, which will, you can see the question on the right hand side, but you won't see the answers anymore. So you're voting anonymously now. And I'll show you that again in a second. So let's say they vote for Queen. There's the zap sound, you may have heard that. And if I now toggle answers, you'll see that the answers don't show on either device either. Okay, so so the way this displays is that the option with the highest votes is pushed to the top. So you'll see that King has now gone into second position and Queen is now in first. We entered King first just now. And so if you had, and this on the right hand side here, this is the number of votes or polls that that particular option has had. So you'll end up with a hierarchical descending order here, so like 5, 3, 2, 0, whatever for the vote down the right hand side here. So you can quickly and easily see which the highest ones are, and then they're color coordinated based on the whether they're in first, second, third or not in those positions. So green items will be first position, orange will be second, and yellow will be third, and then anything else is white. Obviously I'm just using one device here because it's really tricky to show this with more than one device in a demo like this, but you can get the idea. And if there's a tie, then let's say two of them have got 3 votes each or something, then they would be tied green, for example, tied first place, and then it would descend from there. So you can quickly and easily get an idea of what the overall opinions in the class are at that point in time. Really, that's it. If you want to do a new one, you click on New Zap and you do it again. We leave the questions that you previously had in there by default, just because sometimes you might want to build on those or remove them. Let's say, for example, you wanted to remove mum. Sounds a bit bad, doesn't it? Actually, let's remove both parents and just do this. So maybe you were trying to eliminate 2 of those, and then you could zap again. So you can do it like that, or you can, of course, you can just clear them by clicking those buttons and re-enter. So that is pretty much it. Hopefully that is useful, and we really look forward to hearing how you get on as you use the Oodlü Zap app in your classroom. Thank you very much.